I think it's called the Poisonwood Bible because it's showing what her father has turned the Bible into. And like, it's not this thing of hope and love anymore, but he's making it of damnation, kind of.
Well, the title of the Poisonwood Bible, it's an oxymoron in itself that the poisonwood was their poisonous tree. You know, it was like a curse to them. If anyone got near it, they hated this tree. The Bible, which is like the basis of the story, it brings hope to the people. You know, it's what God left us for them to be for people to be strong in their faith. You put in poisonwood as an adjective for the Bible, you get, it's like you get this great hope, but you put all this this evil cursed plant as an adjective for that. It's quite a drastic oxymoron, but it has to do with what happens in the story, because it's supposed to be a good thing. The family goes on a mission. They're missionaries, they're spreading the word, but all that bad stuff happens that occurs. So it's like the poisonwood happening to a Bible story.
Leia, or is pronounced Leah, interests me the most. I like her because I feel like her. She's an outdoor girl, and I like to be outdoors too.
The girls that interest me the most, I actually have two of them that are pretty interesting. Rachel, I thought was interesting because she was basically like a blonde. She was not the most smartest there, but it's ironic because she's the oldest. You would think the oldest child should set an example for how the other children should work, but she was just very not so smart. But it was pretty funny reading that. I also thought that Ada was a cripple. It was interesting because you would think as a cripple she doesn't get in with the society very well, because it's just not natural for people to be crippled. But it's so neat because in the very end she becomes a doctor, doing the very one thing to help what could stop her from being crippled. But it's really interesting and amazing.
I sympathize the most for Ruth May because she was so innocent and she died.
Well, I think a lot of the answers for this question would be very similar. Ruth May's death was very, very sad. I mean, because you have a little girl and gets bit by a snake. It's really sad because you wouldn't expect the little one to die, like the sweet and innocent one. If any child's gonna die, it needs to be the first one. I mean, not saying the first child should die, but it would make more sense. But she was just a little girl. She way too innocent. I don't know. It was very tragic to have her die.
Because instead of saving at the ant scene when the ants attack and swarm, her mom saved Ruth May instead of saving her, and when she had the chance to save Ada, she didn't. She instead saved Ruth May.
That's actually really interesting because I can't really blame the mother that she picked Ruth May better, but Ada's crippled and Ruth May's just the little sweet girl. And if you love your daughters very much, it's really hard to just choose between those two daughters, So I don't know. That'd be hard to make a decision of whether to save Ruth May or Ada. But I think if she had saved Ada, Ruth May would feel just the same. That she felt like her mother would pick Ada over her. But it's really interesting. That's what I think.
think that would give you a different view on him, since he has a different view on other things than all the girls do. That would make you think differently of him, and that you would maybe see the world a little differently. And I think the writer wanted you to have this specific feeling about him.
That's a good question. You know, if we got the opinion of Nathan Price, if we got his voice, it wouldn't. I don't think it would have been a good story, because you get the point of view from the daughters and the mother. You know, you figure out Nathan Price on your own, but it's really, I don't know, it's pretty cool. To figure out how you figure out what Nathan Price thinks of what runs in his mind, just based on what the girls tell and their point of view of the story. I think the author did not intend, or she did intend, to leave the voice out that is of Nathan Price.
Yes, because, well, kind of. Orleana and Ada got to go back to America, and Ada got to go to be a doctor. And Rachel pretty much got her dream life of being rich. And Leia, I think, although she's struggling, she's where she wants to be. And Nathan is in the Congo, exactly where he wanted to be.
It's hard to say if justice was served, like for at least Nathan Price, because, you know, he abandoned his family to do what he wants. But the thing is, you know, did he learn a lesson? Did he feel like he had made a mistake and learned from his lesson? He abandons his family. He does what he wants. You know, that's what he's wanting. But in the end, you know, his death, it may have proved to have been justice. Like I said, in the end, I don't think he may have not learned a lesson. So, being honest, I don't think justice was served.
It's harder in Africa than it is in America. In Africa, they have a different way of doing things than here in America, and they see some of our traditions as weird, and we see some of their traditions as weird, like their burial ceremonies, and our burial ceremonies are very different.
I think the biggest difference in, you know, Africa and America is Africa is very traditional. At least the group they were with, it was very traditional what they did. You know, they had to do everything right. They did all these rituals, all this stuff. America, you know, we're free to do what we want. We are independent. We are freedom of religion. We're very we're, like I said, very independent. We do what we want. That's what America was for.
I think she feels accomplished from being the slower one. I mean, she's still slow, but she's come so far from where she was. I think she feels accomplished.
Well, I kind of answered this earlier, but that's actually a really good. I absolutely love what Ada did with her skills. You know, being a crippled, like I said earlier, you know, it's kind of a disadvantage to living in our society, because, you know, not everyone's crippled. It's not very common. The fact that she became a doctor, it's a little ironic, but it's actually like very good. I don't know. I appreciate what she did. It was very well done.
Oh my gosh, I was so mad. He acted like he didn't care at all, and that makes me upset because this is his baby. This is his flesh and blood. Why doesn't he care that him keeping them there has killed his youngest daughter? It made me upset.
Nathan Price is terrible! Why would he do such a thing? That's my answer. What Nathan Price did, it was just terrible. I mean, I can see how you can be dedicated to, you know, being a missionary to your faith, you know, spreading your Christianity views around. But if it's the case where your own daughter dies, you know, you gotta show some concernment. I mean, it is about God, but he's a part of you. That's a gift that God gave to you. He doesn't want you to just not care about it. That Nathan Price was just terrible.
Plus, you have to edit the bed.
Oh, this is fun.
You're not filming now, are you? Are you filming now?
Why?
You're filming now.
Wait, what?
The Bible, you know, it's like you're putting a bad oh, what's that word?
That's not the question.
What was that?